Have you ever thought about growing your own vegetables at home? It's a question that more and more people are saying yes to. And why not? The benefits are abundant. Firstly, it's a fantastic way to save money. Think about it. Instead of buying a bag of spinach or a bunch of carrots at the store, you can just pluck them from your own backyard. Secondly, there's the freshness aspect. You can't get any fresher than veggies picked right from the garden. Imagine biting into a crisp, juicy tomato that was on the vine just minutes ago. Then there's the knowledge. You know exactly how your food is grown. You control the soil, the water, the care. No worrying about pesticides or other harmful chemicals. You're in charge. Growing your own vegetables can be an easy and rewarding endeavor. So are you ready to get your hands dirty? Before you start planting, you need to plan your vegetable garden. Think of it as a blueprint for success. It's not just about digging a few holes and dropping in some seeds. To reap a bountiful harvest, you need to consider a number of factors. Firstly, location is key. You can't just plant your garden anywhere. You need to find a spot that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day. Most vegetables are sun-loving plants, and they need those rays to grow big and strong. So, scout your backyard, balcony, or windowsill for the sunniest spot. Then, there's soil. The quality of your soil can make or break your vegetable garden. You want soil that's rich in nutrients and drains well. If you're not sure about the quality of your soil, consider getting it tested. It's like taking your soil to the doctor. The results will tell you if you need to add any fertilizers or amendments to make your soil healthier. Now let's talk about choosing the right vegetables. This is where you can let your food preferences guide you, but you also need to be practical. Not all vegetables are going to thrive in all climates or spaces. For instance, if you're in a cooler climate, leafy greens like spinach or kale might be your best bet. If you're limited on space, consider vegetables that grow vertically, like beans or tomatoes. And if you're a beginner, you might want to start with easy growers like radishes or zucchini. Don't forget to consider the size of your garden. You don't want to overcrowd your plants. They need room to breathe and grow, so plan accordingly. If you're working with a smaller space, choose compact varieties or consider container gardening. Remember, the goal here is to set your garden up for success right from the start. You're not just planting seeds, you're cultivating a future feast. So take the time to plan your garden carefully. Consider the sunlight, the soil, and the types of vegetables that will thrive in your unique conditions. Remember, a well-planned garden is the first step to a fruitful harvest. Now that you've planned your garden, it's time to prepare the soil. Soil preparation is much like setting the stage for a grand performance. This is where your vegetables will take root and flourish, so it's worth giving it our utmost attention. First things first, we need to remove any weeds. These unwanted guests can choke your plants and rob them of essential nutrients. Once we've bid farewell to the weeds, it's time to enrich the soil. This could be with compost or a good quality fertilizer. Compost is a fantastic option as it improves the soil structure, enhances its ability to hold on to water and nutrients, and introduces beneficial organisms that break down organic matter. But remember, even the richest soil won't help if the water can't drain away. So, ensure your garden has proper drainage to prevent waterlogged soil, which could harm your plants. With your soil well prepared, you're ready to start planting. Planting your vegetables is a crucial step in the process. Planting may seem as simple as popping seeds into the ground and watering them, but there's a bit more to it than that. The depth at which you plant your seeds or seedlings, the space you leave between them, and the timing of the planting all play significant roles in the success of your vegetable garden. Let's start with planting depth. As a general rule of thumb, seeds should be planted at a depth approximately 3 times their width. For tiny seeds like lettuce or carrots, a shallow planting depth of about 1/4 to 1/2 inch will suffice. Larger seeds such as beans or peas can be planted 1 to 1.5 inches deep. Spacing between plants is also important. Each vegetable variety has its own space requirements, so it's crucial to know these before you start planting. For instance, leafy greens like spinach and lettuce can be planted fairly close together, about 4 to 6 inches apart, while larger plants like tomatoes and cucumbers need more room to grow, typically around 2 to 3 feet apart. Finally, when you plant is determined by the specific vegetable and your climate. Some vegetables, like peas and spinach, prefer cooler weather and can be planted in early spring. Others, such as tomatoes and peppers, need warmer temperatures and should be planted after the risk of frost has passed. If you're unsure of when to plant, check the back of your seed packet or consult a local gardening guide for information tailored to your area. The process of planting your vegetables may require a little more thought and planning than you initially anticipated, but don't let that discourage you. Remember, the effort you put into planting correctly will pay off when you're harvesting fresh, homegrown produce from your garden. Remember, proper planting is the key to a healthy and productive vegetable garden. Once your vegetables are planted, the work isn't over. Now, you need to maintain your garden. And maintaining a garden is as much an art as it is a science. It's an ongoing process that requires diligence and a keen eye. First and foremost, regular watering is crucial. Without water, plants simply cannot survive. But here's the catch. Not too little, not too much, just right. It's like Goldilocks, but for plants. Depending on the type of vegetable, the amount of water needed will vary. Some plants, like tomatoes, need a good soak but less frequently, while others, like lettuce, prefer a lighter touch but more often. Now let's talk about weeding. Weeds are like the uninvited guests at your garden party, taking up space and hogging resources. Regular weeding keeps these party crashers in check, allowing your veggies to thrive without competition. And while it might seem like a chore, think of it as a meditative practice, a time to connect with nature and your garden. Pest control is another important aspect of garden maintenance. Pests can wreak havoc in your garden, munching away at your precious veggies. Natural methods such as companion planting, where certain plants are grown together to deter pests, can be very effective. If needed, organic pesticides can be used as a last resort. Finally, knowing when to harvest your vegetables is key. Each vegetable has its own telltale signs. For instance, zucchini are best when they're about 6 to 8 inches long, while tomatoes are ready when they're firm and fully colored. It's a bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, it's incredibly satisfying to enjoy the fruits, or in this case, vegetables, of your labor. With regular care and attention, you can enjoy a bountiful harvest from your very own vegetable garden. And there's nothing quite like the taste of a vegetable that you've grown yourself. So roll up your sleeves and get gardening. Your taste buds will thank you. Growing your own vegetables at home may seem daunting, but with a little planning and care, anyone can do it. Remember, it all starts with a well-thought-out plan. Consider the size, location, and the types of vegetables you want to grow. Next, prepare the soil, ensuring it's fertile, well-drained, and ready to nurture your plants. This step is crucial for the success of your garden. Then, it's time for planting. Remember to follow the guidelines specific to each type of vegetable, as their needs can vary greatly. Lastly, don't forget about maintenance. Regular watering, weeding, and pest control will keep your garden thriving. Growing your own vegetables is not just about the end result, it's a journey that can bring immense joy and satisfaction. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your vegetable garden today and enjoy the fruits of your labor.